I tried to be nice. I did. I'm the kind of person that always gives someone a benefit of the doubt. Especially when they're in the public sphere. You know, famous Hollywood. You know, like most people, they're given a pass. I couldn't. I tried, but I couldn't. He's ruined too many. Hi, Rhiannon. Susan, good to see you. Maybe you folks share the same view I do. Maybe you don't. But our target for tonight. Megan, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you. Tonight, our target is Tim Burton. Now, he's beloved by so many young ones. And I say young ones not necessarily in age, but young in body. Can't necessarily get why outside of no. Okay? No. All right? I defy any of you that can name at least 2 films made by Tim Burton that don't feature Johnny Depp and are live action. I dare you. I dare you. You can't do it, can you? You know why? Because everybody equates him to Johnny Depp. Everybody equates him to Helena Bonham Carter. Everybody equates him to Black and White Stripes. And completely and totally ruining things that were perfectly fine on their own and turning it into something that is a travesty upon the eyes. I swear, this man works in a palette that is so freaking limited, I swear Jeffree Star had to come up with it, and that's where he came up with his new freaking makeup palette. That's where he came up from. He watched too many Tim Burton fucking movies. Okay? Hot Topic freaking stock soared when his shit came out. You know something's got me riled up? When this goes out. Before even 5 minutes have passed. No, I'm already ready to freaking strangle him. Okay? He doesn't have a single capability in one way or the other in order to be able to diversify the look of his films. Every single one of them. Every single freaking one of them. Every single one. Every single one. They all might as well be the same film. They can be. You could throw Corpse Bride. You could throw Nightmare Before Christmas. Don't get me started on that fucking film. Okay? Edward Scissorhands. Alice in Wonderland. Both of them. Okay? Alright? You could take all of them. All of them. String them together and people will think they're still watching the same fucking movie. The same one. The same one. There's no diversity. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. None. Whatsoever. Why? You think a director would have a particular type of vision in order to be able to put it on film. This guy takes the same fucking vision and puts it on the same fucking films. Non-stop. Left and right. Okay, let's see what else I could destroy. Let's see here. What other property can I destroy? No, they're already remaking that one. That one's going to be completely and totally destroyed. Ooh, there we go. Let's take Alice in Wonderland. Something that's completely, totally, and absolutely, without a doubt, already fine. Already dark, already twisted in its own right in the book. Okay? Alice in Wonderland. Twisted as fuck in the book. Okay? It's very good, Susan. I dig it. But, Tim Burton. Tim Burton took 2 seasons. Not 1. 2. that are in direct opposition to one another. What do people from Halloween consistently complain about? People that put up Christmas decorations too fucking early. What do people Christmas complain about? The people that complain about them putting up their decorations too fucking early. Okay? Okay. Now let's take those two things and throw them in the same fucking film. Let's throw them in the same fucking film. What do you get? Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's invent some shit. You know, a little bit of backstory here and there, okay? Why not? People say they want to be like Jack and Sally. You don't want to be like Jack and Sally. Guess what? They're fake and they're dead. They're dead. Frankenweenie. Enough said. Okay? Dark Shadows. Dark Shadows was remade twice. Twice! When it first came out, it was fairly comedic. Then at some point in the late 80s, early 90s, okay, it was a TV show, and it was legitimately dark. They actually did it, and it looked pretty fucking phenomenal. Don't worry, I'll get into Shamalama Ding Dong soon enough. We're talking about Burton right now. Burton. Burton. It's a fucking swear word. Okay? It's a swear word. When you say that somebody has Burton the film. Alright? It's legitimately, in the film industry, when they realize that your color palette consists of nothing but grays, blacks, and whites. That's it. You've Burtoned the hell out of a film. Why? Why? You know how bad it is when I have to actually say something good about Edward Scissorhands? There's color in there somewhere. It's insane. It's legitimately insane. Why? 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 Okay? Why? Alright, why? How you doing, Albert? I see a lot of active people here. I'm loving it. I'm angry to Albert. Because tonight on the Killing Wall, we're destroying Tim Burton. Oh, yeah. And I haven't even talked about the one that literally makes me want to strangle a baby. It makes me want to take an infant and punt it right to Jupiter. Elizabeth, you hit it right on the fucking nail. I got a couple of my best fans here. Lance, good to see you. Dawn, good to see you. Hopefully you share my opinion, which it is, just an opinion. This episode brought to you by Butthurt Band-Aids. Okay? Sweeney Todd. Okay, Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd was a very kick-ass poem in England. Very powerful poem. And then HBO made a pretty kick-ass movie about it. I believe they even made a black and white film about it as well. But then HBO made a pretty damn good film with it. With Sir Ben Kingsley as Sweeney Todd. And it wasn't a musical. It was a film. It was a masterpiece. Was Dumbo directed by Tim Burton? I can't remember. I can't. I don't want to think about it. It drives me fucking insane. Is that the one? Dumbo? Okay. Okay. You saw what happened with it, right? It flopped. It sucked. Did he give it the Tim Burton treatment, though? Or better yet, did he direct it? Or did he just write it? You mentioned one, Jeremy. But I don't think he directed it. He wrote it. That's the kick. What he writes has a little bit of his stink on it. What he directs, bleh. If he writes it, usually it's good. Somewhat. He directed Dumbo, right? Okay. Did it have his stink all over it? I didn't bother to watch it because it was a Disney property. But, back to topic. Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd. Okay? Sir Ben Kingsley. Great freaking film. Wasn't a musical. Kicked ass. Sufficed on its own. It was good. Then guess what he did? Guess what he did? What he did. He helped make it a musical. And then he Burtoned it. He Burtoned a film. A story. About someone so fucking sinister. And delightful. And Burtoned it. That was unforgivable. It's unforgivable. Unforgivable. Okay? He knocked it out of the park with Beetlejuice. And then he decided to combine Beetlejuice with Edward Scissorhand, and that became his entire film style for the rest of his fucking career. Yep. Beetlejuice. That's where he first started doing the stripes. Everywhere. That's where he started it. From that point on, every other fucking film he did had that sort of signature to it. You see it and you immediately know it's him. He struck again. It's like spotting Kilroy paintings out in frickin' England. And France. Not England, just France. When you spot the graffiti of Kilroy. Whenever you run over a skunk, the stink of it, it's there. It never goes away. It drives me up the wall. Up the wall! And then people glorify it like it's some sort of magical unique. A unique. Not a unique thing, because that's a fucking slander against things. It's a unique. In their eyes, I don't see the unique. What I see is somebody recycling the same shit over and over again. For merchandising. And it works. It works! It works. Did it have his stink all over it? That's just it. It's a travesty. It's a travesty. It's an absolute travesty. All of it. He hasn't done one thing worthy of anyone's attention for the longest damned time. I can't think of anything that he did that was 100% unique. That didn't have the same color palette and color scheme of everything else that he did. That's it. It's insane. But I'm curious as to what you all think. I want to know what you all feel. I can rant at you all day. I'm surprised I don't have any Burton fans in here trying to counter me. I want to see some value. I want to see some worth. I want to know, why does this guy keep on getting scripts? And let's face it, if he could, he'd throw Johnny Depp in every single one of his films. He'd throw his wife in every single one of his films. You know how many actors could have gotten the roles and probably would have knocked it out of the park a lot better? Now, this isn't a slander against Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, you want to know what? I give props to the man. I give props to the man. He kicked ass. The problems that he's dealing with, you know, the domestic shit, you want to know what? He handled that very admirably. And I won't go into that. Sleepy Hollow had his stink all over it too. And I don't think he did that one. And the fucked up part is I actually like Sleepy Hollow. But Sleepy Hollow wasn't original. Sleepy Hollow is one of the most consistently remade films, cartoons, you name it. I want to see some value. I want to see, how did Ben Franklin get eaten by giant cockroaches? He said he'd never forgive. Good answer, Elizabeth. David, what the hell are you talking about? I don't even know what you're referring to. Because I can't honestly remember. For those of you that don't know me, I legitimately have a memory issue. Because, the thing is that I always am willing to give somebody a pass if they give us something that's of worth. Oh, well, no shit. Hansel and Gretel movie did suck balls. That's beside the point. It's not original. He does no originality anymore. He takes what exists and makes it Tim Burton. That's the fucked up part about it. He hasn't done an original thing in decades. I don't know of any other director that made the same shit left and fucking right, called it something completely and totally different, and people lauded him like he's some sort of visionary. Not a visionary. It's shit. And I'm not one to normally criticize somebody else's work. I'll always find the good. Here, I'll give you one. Okay? I'll give you one. Just one. Okay? One good thing from each film I can think of his. Okay? We'll start with Nightmare Before Christmas, okay? The one that every fucking body loves to try and compare their fucking relationships to. So fucking help me. Okay? Here we go. With Nightmare, it gave us Mr. Oogie Boogie. And that fucking song kicked ass. Okay? Not to mention the fact that I have some bias to it because I could actually sing it. Okay? That's one. And yes, I could sing it in that baritone too. I can go that low. Alright? That's one. Okay? Sweeney Todd, good subject matter. Shitty execution. Okay? Shitty execution. Edward Scissorhands was an original idea. That I will gladly give him credit for. That was an original. Kudos to him. Alice in Wonderland, he decided to come up with his own take in regards to how the story progressed. I'll give him credit there. To some degree. Some. But again, execution is shit. Execution is shit. That's his problem with a lot of his films. His execution is shit. His portrayal is shit. His skill set is shit. Why people can't see this, it completely, totally blows my mind. Explain it to me. The man's writing in uniqueness is about as broken as a freaking Fiat. Okay? It works on paper. That's about it. Okay? Okay. Sweeney Todd. Good subject matter, shitty execution. Dumbo. Good take on trying to bring live action, which honestly, no. Live action, animated anything. From animated anything. It's always a bad idea. It's always a bad idea when Tim Burton's involved. Or, strike that, when Disney is involved. Yeah, that's the best way to put it, Dawn. And that would be his only defense. The 90s made me do it. Although I think it was a considerable amount of the coke that he did in the 80s to make him actually have that kind of mindset. Alright? Tim Burton, who will never see this, unless, wow, if he does. I would love to see your idea for something 100% original. Not a remake, not a reimagining, which I love that phrase. Okay? Something unique. Come out of your head. I would love to see it. And it not feature Johnny Depp or your wife. I understand nepotism. I do. But you know what? No. Not when it comes to Hollywood. Not when it comes to Hollywood. Because, you know what? He's lost respect. I appreciate film and all of its portrayals. I love dynamics of character. I love dynamics of writing. He hasn't done anything good in decades. You want to know what's funny? You want to know what's funny? So far in this entire chat, and I've been watching the comments, there are 2 films he did. 2 that I actually admired and I liked a lot and still do a lot. There's 2. Nobody said it yet. And you want to know what? It's fucked up that nobody said it yet because, oh boy. Wow. Actually, no. Strike that. 3. Beetlejuice is 1. Okay? I still like Beetlejuice. Alright? You know what those 2 are? Batman. And Batman Returns. The both of those. A lot of people forget that was Tim Burton's. You know why? No black and white. No stripes. Unless it pertained to the particular character. No weird angles to anything. No twisted reimaginings that make somebody look cartoonish. They actually took the characters as they were in the original source material and brought it to film exactly how it was in the original source material. Tell me how fucked that is. Yeah, they were his, Jeremy. Isn't that funny? You want to know why you didn't know they were his? Because they were good. That's why nobody knows they were his. They were actually good. They didn't have his stink on any of it. None. No crazy, wacky characters. I'm sorry. Penguin was not crazy or wacky. He wasn't. Alright? Was not. Alright? I'm even thinking of one that really freaking... Here's one. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm hoping I'm not. Because then I've got 2 people on my fucking... that need to be up on a pole up against the killing wall. Willy Wonka. Okay? Was that him? Was Willy Wonka him? Because I'm curious. Was Willy Wonka him? Because it would certainly make sense. It's right up his fucking alley. I'd love to know. Tell me something. Okay? Who wants to hear how I would have done any of those films? Instead of Tim Burton. Let me know. And I will gladly tell you how I would have done them. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Any of y'all know that there was a sequel in the works for Beetlejuice? It was called Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. I am not kidding. Yeah, it has his freaking stink all over it. It does. That's what I figured. I wasn't 100% sure. Mostly because I didn't see it. I saw what the advertisements were. I saw plenty of fucking movie clips, and I was like, nope, that has Tim Burton stink all over it. You don't need to take a look at the corpse of a dead skunk to be able to catch the waft of it hitting your nose. Gene Wilder would have hopped up out of his grave the same way that he popped up on the freaking walk. And then smacked him upside the head with a fucking cane. Okay? Like, what the fuck did you do to my character? And here's the thing. I don't think Tim Burton has respect for source materials. He takes a look at portrayals of source materials, what other directors and writers have done, and then comes up with his take on it. Nightmare Before Christmas. How would I have redone it? Well, one, I wouldn't have done it claymation. I would have made it live action. I wouldn't have made the characters look cartoonish at all. I would have loved to have seen an actual mortal portrayal. By mortal, I mean human-looking portrayal of every single one of the characters. I would have put Willem Dafoe in the role of Jack Skellington. Why? Because I think he could pull it off. Okay? And he can sing. Okay? But I would have also eliminated all the musical numbers too. I would have made it into a legitimate thriller. That's what I would have done. It would not be for fucking kids. That's how I would have done Nightmare Before Christmas. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the last fucking film that he did that was original. I think that was the last one he did that was all him. I don't think he did anything else by anyone else. And mind you, Tim Burton didn't direct Nightmare Before Christmas. He just wrote it. Okay? Can you imagine the fucking 3 trick-or-treaters, Lock, Shock, and Barrel, as live action? Holy shit. Okay? That would have been beyond awesome. That's what I would have done. I would have made it live action. I would have cast Michael Clark Duncan in the role of Oogie Boogie. Can you imagine that shit? Put Chris Farley in the role of the clown that rolls around without a face. That's what I would have done. And as a tribute to her, I would have had Linda Hamilton play as the witch. As an honor to her mother, the original Wicked Witch, Margaret Hamilton. That's what I would have done. I would have passed on the script for Sweeney Todd because it already exists. Great film, doesn't need to be remade. Edward Scissorhands, an original work. An original work. Decent love story. Execution sucked. I would have had Vincent Price in it a lot more. I would have had Vincent Price alive till midway through the movie, as opposed to killing him in a fucking flashback. That's what I would have done. Okay? Now, If you put Michael Clark Duncan, because he could sing too, he could have done Oogie Boogie. It's if I would have made the movie. There would have been no knowledge. You need somebody big, you need somebody intimidating, you need somebody hulking. Back then, when that movie came out, Michael Clark Duncan was your man. Plain and simple. 'Cause I'm the boogeyman. Alright? Would have had him. Tim Burton needs to stop. He needs to stop pandering, and as Elizabeth put it, because she's on a roll here typing, he needs to stop pandering and trying to make goth for tweens. Okay? It needs to stop. It needs to end. Alright? It does. Tim Burton is a plight. He either needs new direction, he needs to be reined in, or, quite simply, needs to retire. That's my thoughts. What are yours? I want you to tell me. You're the ones that can make it happen. I partially attribute him to the reason why we are so obsessed with the idea of an apocalypse. Okay? And you wonder why. Okay, I'll tell you. Alright? And I'm glad that some of you may like Tim Burton. Jessica, a good example. Okay? But you know what, Jessica? When was the last time he did anything that was 100% his? But that's just it, Aaron. He only does whimsical. He only does whimsical because he knows that will sell merchandise. That'll sell merchandise to stores like Forever 21 and Hot Topic. You can't exactly get Funko Pops of characters. Don't mention those in my presence, Jeremy. Okay? Tim Burton is worthless. Absolutely worthless these days. He needs to stop. Jessica, I'm going to address you correctly. I'm going to address you directly. Okay? Corpse Bride, it's been done. It's basically Beetlejuice with corpses instead of ghosts. Okay? That's all it is. Nightmare Before Christmas was a mashing of two holidays that hate one another. Alright? Edward Scissorhands, it was a good tale. Like I said. It's just it had his stink all over it. The execution sucked. A person having artifacts from films that he's made and concepts that he's had does not a good filmmaker make. Does not a good writer make. If you saw half the shit that I have, you'd be amazed. In all honesty, he either needs to retire or find a new way to come up with things. Because he's ruined a lot of several different properties. He has. He's ruined them. He's completely and totally ruined them. I have admiration for him, for his earlier work. that he did. I do not, Dawn. I do not. I usually have the original source works that most Funkos have a tendency to be based off of. I have original Marvel comics. TV shows, I have the original aired episodes. Movies, I usually have all those movies. I don't need a figurine chibified to display it. I'm not that much of a fan of it. His earlier work was great. His present stuff is shit. I want to see something original. I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would, Eliza. I have no doubt of it. Except for one problem. Too many people are going to be thinking about the first. That's the issue. He needs to stop with the claymation. He needs to stop. He needs to stop with the animation. Create something live action without Johnny Depp, and he'll be fine. And something that isn't just black and white. He's obsessed with low, dark tones, and that's it. I want to see him break out of his freaking comfort zone. I want to see him doing something that's not pandering to one audience and one audience alone. You want to talk about somebody that broke out of their freaking comfort zone? What do I like in Tim Burton films? Okay, I'll tell you what I like. I like that he's willing to take a risk. Okay? I like that he's willing to take a risk. The problem is that every single one of his risks, okay, are all the same. I think he did James and the Giant Peach too. That was basically Nightmare Before Christmas with different characters. Okay? I like that he takes risks. I don't like that the risk that he takes is always the same one. He's a two-trick pony. That's it. And Johnny Depp is awesome. He is the shit. I will give plenty of props there. Those are disaster films, though, not post-apocalyptic. There is a difference, though, Megan. Although I'll give you props for citing, unfortunately, we're talking about films where at the opening epilogue, the apocalypse has already occurred. Okay? And that's just it. He did it once, and then he kept on doing it. He took Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands, mashed them together, and that became his aesthetic from that point forward. He hasn't done anything original since. Everything else has his stink all over it. Once or twice is okay. But when you do it for every single film, that's when you begin to really lose it. Yeah. You didn't know that, Jessica? Think about it. You take the aesthetics from Beetlejuice, along with the aesthetics from Edward Scissorhands, and that's every single film he's done. Every single one. That's the sad part. I know he's a talented writer. Same animation style, same character design. It's just a completely different characters. That's it. It might as well have been put into the same story. If you took James from James and the Giant Peach and threw him in Nightmare Land or Christmas Land, you wouldn't have been able to see anything out of place. At all. It's all the same. All of it. Like, how sad is that? Alright. It's that time now. Whereas those of us that are rants, firing men of the firing squad, pose a question at me. Any question you want in regards to today's topic or tonight's topic. Anything at all. Or about anything. Throw out suggestions for next week's episode. I'm happy to hear it. I will gladly engage with every single one of you. Like, comments, subscribe. Any comments, complaints, cash payments, questions. I'm happy to take them. Because we all have people that we're favorited to. People that we find the moment that we hear the name, we're immediately rushing over to it. People hear Johnny Depp, they immediately gotta see it. People hear Harry Potter, they immediately gotta see it. People hear Disney, immediately gotta see it. I mean, it's a given. Dude, you need to come up with new stuff. That's what I would say to him, Paige. Yeah, but you want to know what? There's a difference between being an artist, okay, and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like, how many pictures or portraits can you see of somebody doing this nonstop? Okay, I'll give you a good example, because this is basically the artist painter. Okay, this is the painter equivalent of Tim Burton doing 30 or 40 paintings of somebody exactly like this. How many different times can you see that before you're like, can you please paint something different? What do I think of John Carpenter? Or what do I think of Leonardo DiCaprio? Okay. A lot of Carpenter's stuff was... How do I put it? I liked his take on vampires. But that's about as far as I'd take it. DiCaprio, I think, is one of those few versatile actors that will gladly take on any role that comes to him that will be difficult. I admire him as an actor. When did I lose faith in Tim Burton as a creative being? When I started to become aware that he was incapable of legitimately doing something unique. That would be right around the time that he came out with Alice in Wonderland. That's when I was like, how is this any fucking different than anything else he's done? Like, I figured, you want to know what? Okay, he's going to do a couple of films somewhat the same way. All right, fine. Once he did to Alice in Wonderland, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. When are you doing something new? And the thing is that you want to know what? Kelly, you're pointing out something that I'm glad that you're pointing out, because it doesn't necessarily prove a point one way or the other, but I can kind of get where you're coming from. The thing is that when it comes to film, visual styles are really meant to be subtle, okay? The writing and the dialogue are meant to sort of give you an idea as to whose film it is. There are very few directors and writers out there where the second you're watching it, you know who wrote it or who's directing it. And I did not cover Shamalama Ding Dong. Not tonight. Okay? I'll give you a good example, Kelly. Okay? If I'm watching a Tarantino film, within 10 minutes I know I'm watching a Tarantino film. Almost immediately. Because I see 70s aesthetic. I see film grain where it doesn't really belong. I see people consistently referencing old school music. Non-stop. Immediately I'm like, okay, Tarantino. Immediately. Because I know what his influences are. Now, does that necessarily mean that I think he's a great director? No. I think he's also another person that does the same fucking thing. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? I might do Shamalama Ding Dong another night. Definitely. Okay? But, alright? Tarantino is obsessed with the 70s. It's what he grew up in, so unfortunately he's kind of boxed himself in where every single film he does is like that. All of them. That's the sad part, okay? He hasn't really done anything else. But I'll give him credit where credit is due. He hasn't taken anybody else's property and then made it into the way it is. Every single thing that he's done is original. It's his. That's why I can't rip him apart as much as I rip Tim Burton apart. Because Tarantino, at least his visual style, is these days unique to him. He purposely goes after what is 100% what he knows to do, and then he purposely tailors a story to it. That's why it's a completely different animal. Okay? If I take a look at a Hitchcock film. Alright? Hitchcock, most of his stuff was with the camera work. You could usually tell from the camera work that you've got a Hitchcock film going on. Okay? A lot of cut to scene shots, okay? And a perfect blending of music and scene work. Then you know you're watching a Hitchcock film. Hands down, okay? Best work he ever did was Psycho. Okay? Perfect. Right? You take a look at films like by... And this is where I have to give credit where credit is due. Okay? You take a look at somebody like Michael Bay. Okay? You know what he did? Based off of, or is a retelling? And was it Lady Snowblood? Elizabeth. Was it Lady Snowblood? Or was it something that he took and completely and totally changed the story, put the setting, the whole nine? You tell me in the comments. We'll talk about that offline, gladly, okay? Michael Bay, I gotta give credit, because you know how he started? How many people remember Got Milk? That was him. That's how he started. The money that he got from that advertising campaign is what got him into film. That's somebody breaking out of their comfort zone and creating something from it. And I give credit there where it's due. People that stay within their comfort zone like that, fucking worthless. Okay? I know Tim Burton can do it. I got faith in his abilities. He's just refusing to. And has no desire to, because people keep on shilling out the fucking money to him. The only way Tim Burton will ever improve is if he actually comes out with something that, 1, is original, and 2, isn't of the same color palette, 3, doesn't have Johnny Depp, 4, doesn't have Helena Bonham Carter. Okay? The only way. He does that, then he'll get my respect back. Till then, straight up. Give me something that doesn't pander, and I will gladly take it. Give me something that blatantly has a risk of tanking in the box office. Give me that. Aaron, the only reason why I didn't add that in is because sometimes directors are tied by contract to have a certain number of films with that particular studio and are not allowed or are bound to not work with another studio until their studio commitments are completed. That's the downside. Orson Welles was tied into something like that. So was Charlie Chaplin. Inspired by, but not based on. Different animal. That's like saying Die Hard is inspired by a book that was written a number of years back with somebody that legitimately came into contact with James Bond. So, yeah, you see, Aaron, that's just it. If he's no longer tied to Disney, kudos there. So, by all means. That's probably the reason why Depp hasn't done any Tim Burton films in a long time. Because right now I think Depp is tied to Disney. I think. So, that's a short and sweet of it. I'm like trying to think, what other film writers and directors have very unique styles where within a couple of moments you know what you're watching. Yeah. That's a good lesson. I would love to see a sequel called Return to Freaking... Oh, dear God, Aaron. Yeah, you're right. Lynch's movies are so fucking iconic, and at the same time, they're all his. But, you know what? Lynch didn't do remakes or reimaginings. A lot of his shit was original. And that's why I'll give props. If it's an original work, then kudos. If you're just taking somebody else's stuff and then throwing your spin on it, then go the fuck away. A lot of Lynch's work was very new. If I'm not mistaken, he was the one that came up with that whole superhead shit. This is like a senior during finals week. Yeah, but Zombie's original stuff it's all the same thing. But then again, he's also... Actually, you want to know what? No. Rob Zombie's original stuff all have the same spin. You know you're watching a Rob Zombie flick. Hands down. Thank you, Aaron. I wasn't sure. I'm not exactly sure how to answer your question there, Kelly. Oh, I already spoke about Tarantino there, Ken, but thank you for tuning in. Zombie's original stuff, you could always tell it's Zombie. Some of the stuff that he did were remakes, like I think he redid Halloween. You can't really tell it's his unless you know for a fact that it's Sherry Moon that's there. But then again, he throws Sherry Moon in everything that he does, so it's a form of nepotism. I'm glad you came here for the rants, Takara. And believe me, I let them out. Yeah. Dark Hearts forever. Got about another 9 minutes, folks. I want to be able to close out the Wednesday on a black and white note. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, cash payments. If you want to donate to Hellfire Radio, okay? Check out the Facebook page at Hellfire Radio, okay? I highly suggest that. Share the shit out of this video if you can, okay? Because the more views and the more shares this gets, the more likely, more quality content will be coming your way. Because they got a ton of other shows. We got a whole bunch of new artists that are going to be coming in, okay? As a matter of fact, I think there's one dude that I really dig. Skitsy's pretty freaking awesome, okay? You got other folks. They're like all over the show. Scoops and Mischief. Seriously, check them out. Oh. I mean, there's so many shows out there. Check out the freaking Gonzo Radio Show. Check out Tyson over at Live 575, okay? I mean, there are great shows out there. You know, Shit Show Theater. Tons of them. Check out the shows, man. They're beyond awesome. I highly recommend them. And you know what? Donate to them. Buy their merch. Check out their website. Hellfireradio.com. You know, maybe I'm going to have some merch out there at some point. If you want, donate to me. Maybe I'll start developing some. If you want to, you can friend me directly on Facebook. Look up Baron Voltage with a space. Or you can contact me directly at baronvvoltage@gmail.com. And Takara, that's right, we don't bite much. We only bite when you ask us to. And even then, only nicely. Alright? Especially if it's Sherry Moon. Ugh. Okay? And check out my YouTube page. I have a tendency to throw a lot of my past stuff, my past episodes from Hellfire, they go over onto my YouTube page too. if you want to be able to have a quick reference to them. Otherwise, go to Hellfire. They're awesome. You know, share the shit out of their page. Show them some fucking love. You might even be able to become a member. Yep, see, Takara, you beat me to it. We'd love to have you. If you got a show idea, contact us. And yep, Amber, I do have a YouTube page. It's Baron Voltage with the space, okay? All my past episodes are up there. I usually try and upload as many as I can. They have some really good stuff. You see, I'm really curious, though, of one thing. What kind of merch would you guys like to see me have? You know, because I'm like, Yep, consent! I'm like all kinds of, what kind of merch could I have? Takara, you're like Takara, for those of you who don't know, that's one of the boss folks. So I'm like, I don't know, my best behavior. What kind of merch would you guys like to see me have? A Baron t-shirt. Who's Baron? Oh, Baron Voltage, that's right. Yeah. We have a fan page, that's right. My name, my brand, yeah. But you want to know what, though? I would not be here if it isn't for the Hellfire family, so I got to give love to them. Actually, you want to know what? I should start selling coffee mugs with this on it. You know? That. Maybe a Zippo. For a second, I was even thinking of getting spent shells. Okay? Bullet shells. Okay? And etched into them is the topic every single time I go on the fucking killing wall. And if you want a personalized one, you let me know. I'm thinking that would be pretty damn cool. What do you think, Takara? Yeah, right now I'm kind of starting to wind down, folks, a little bit. Ow, fuck. Well, thank you, Marianne. You want to know what would be pretty damn good? What if I started selling these? Can you imagine me selling the hats? The fedoras? And Hellfire does have its own brand of coffee. You see, if I was to give a rank commander a hat, it wouldn't be a hat, it'd be a helmet. I need somebody to be able to do enough of like an image of me to put onto a t-shirt and it be quality. You know what I mean? Well, the thing is that these suckers are expensive. Like this one, I think was like close to about $250. You know? $250 for this thing, and I gotta get it washed. This poor thing has been through hell. But it goes with me everywhere. Yeah, like put your freaking fedoras on. It's time for getting into the shadows. The only time you'll see two of my characters blend. Rank Commander Voltage. Actually, You guys want to see something that'll make your eyeballs twitch a little bit? Who wants to see something like that? Autographed voodoo dolls. Yeah. Alright, Takara, you mentioned something. Let me show you something. Okay? You guys want to see something really weird? Or kind of cool? Take a look at... Oh, wait, I can't show it to you. Yeah. I'll show you guys something. Take a look at these. Pocket watch. 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 Okay. All right. Ugh. Camo killing wall. You guys, all right, I'll show you guys something that'll make your eyeballs twitch. Give me 1 second. This tends to throw people off a lot. Oh, this will make people go, wait, what? When people see me in white, they run. Can you imagine that? Yes. People are so used to seeing me in black. So when they see me in white, they get scared. Well, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. But yeah, short and sweet. I mean, a merch idea. Pocket watches are hard to get. Etching them would be a bitch. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd have to hand etch every single one. You know, it has to be cost effective. That's how I gotta look at it. You know, I want you folks to get something quality. I don't want to give you guys shit. You know, I want you guys to get something that not only is functional, but is also 100% durable. Bandanas are cheap, yeah, but I don't usually wear them. Camo hat, I might. You know, I mean, this was my military. This was my cover for a good couple of years. You know, and it's It's been through the ringer. But on the plus side, though, I mean, shit, it still has my freaking registration number on it. Like written right there. Yep. Still has my registration number. R8931C. I remember thinking, what would be good merch? And then I thought about various different types of weapons. I thought about different types of coffee. I thought about different types of, clothing. Even dog tags. The manufacturer would be a bitch. Baron Voltage, the flamethrower! A Baron Voltage taser would be hilarious. I have written on the side, don't smite me, bro. Maybe even get posters made of me giving this look for the killing wall. It'd be, what are you, fucking stupid? I think that is it? Yeah. I think that's it for tonight. If you got any other questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or cash payments, contact me directly at baronvvoltage@gmail.com. If you want to donate to Hellfire, check out their Facebook page at Hellfire Radio. You can contact me at, again, my Facebook Messenger. I will answer all messages if they come my way. All of them. Friend request me, by all means. Baron Voltage. Really easy to spot me. Okay? And you know what? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I might actually throw some unique content up there at some point, not just past episodes of this. Because think of it like this. The more I get from y'all, as far as just a single button click, the more likely I'll be able to continue to give you guys exactly what it is that you folks want. If you got any other questions, story ideas, rant ideas for the killing wall, who you think and what you think belongs up against that pole to face the squad, let me know. This was the killing wall. Fall out.